What's up, everybody? Today we're going to be talking about something different, something that's been weighing on my mind for a little bit, and I wanted to openly express to you guys when it comes to the tattoo industry. So the biggest demon that I think is in the tattoo industry would revolve around addiction. A ton of tattoo artists out there struggle with addiction every day, and there's a lot of stigma when it comes to being a tattoo artist. Like the partying, everything is super important, and kind of like the rite of passage to tattooing. So I'll explain my story for you guys, and hopefully you could relate something or relate it to someone that you know to try to help out. So whenever I first started tattooing, obviously there's a lot of partying, drinking, things like that. You tattoo all day, you go to the bar and, pretty much waste all your money on alcohol and things like that. There's also a lot of drugs in the industry. Whenever I first started, my mentor definitely did drugs very openly. So that's something you're going to see in the industry at some point. Unfortunately, that's just how it is. Now, I got lucky enough. I never really got into drugs because I was so afraid of getting addicted to them. So I stayed away from drugs, never really did anything involving that. But I've had plenty of friends, overdose and end up, passing away because of drugs and everything. So I just stay away from it. Even when I hurt my leg, I did not take any pain medication at all, just because I'm so afraid in the back of my head that, I'd have a problem and end up needing them for some reason. And so I just stay away from them. I'd rather deal with pain. I know I could take it. So, I'd rather stay away from them completely. My biggest demon when it came to addiction would be alcohol. So whenever I first started tattooing, I drank a lot, every day, and that kind of stayed the same for 15 years. I drank every day of my life, and I'll tattoo during the day. Obviously, I wouldn't drink when I tattoo, but immediately when I would get off work, that's 100% what I was focusing on, was drinking and getting messed up, and that did affect my career. To be completely honest, I didn't spend the time drawing or, growing in my craft. I pretty much had a standstill of my career, just because of spending so much time on, drinking and partying, all of these things, which I thought was fine. Every other artist I knew did the exact same thing. So it was something that I felt was normal. And, it got to the point to where I was getting really sick. So I started getting really bad anxiety. When I would go show up for my clients, I'd get really shaky. I'd have to go to the back room and kind of sit there and relax and tell myself I was all right. I didn't really understand what was going on. And it got to a crippling point to where I needed to make a change in my life to be able to keep going as a tattoo artist and, just become a better person. When I was drinking, I only really focused on myself. And I definitely had a problem. I told myself, oh, it's not a problem. Everyone does it. But, now to this day, I could clearly look back on my life and wish I would have made the choice sooner. But at that point, I decided I needed to make a change. I was super depressed. I was having problems with anxiety. I couldn't really figure out what was going on. I just felt sick all the time. So I decided to get sober. That was probably the best thing I ever did in my life. I ended up going through the 12-step program. I had a sponsor that helped me through that period of time, which helped for me. There's tons of different things out there that you could go through. And, if you are having a problem with, substance abuse or alcohol abuse, when I was drinking, I thought that I would never be able to get sober, that it was going to be, I think for the rest of my life that, if I quit, I was just going to die because I drank so much for so long. But I am living proof that you can get through it, and 100% it will hold back your career, and it's something you're going to see everywhere, especially at conventions, tattoo studios. Drugs and alcohol are a big thing with tattooing, which is why I wanted to touch base with you guys, because I've seen plenty of my friends end up getting addicted to substances and end up passing away, or completely disappearing because they got so bad off on that stuff and quit tattooing completely, and their dreams are shot, which is terrible to see. It still beats me up inside. But the best thing that you could possibly do is, get better for yourself. If you are going through things like this, there's plenty of help out. There's help hotlines. So I wanted to make this video for the people that are going through problems with this, problems with alcohol or even drugs, just so you know that you're not alone. I went through it, and I conquered it. It's still a battle for the rest of my life, because obviously anything with addiction, it never completely goes away. But I promise you that if you go through the appropriate steps, focus on yourself and work for, a better you. And for me, it was, being able to be better for my family. You know, my kids didn't really need to see me drinking all the time and all of those things, so I decided to do better for me. And to this day, I am sober, happy, and as far as I know, healthy. So I know that this was a deep video. I just wanted to let everyone know a little bit about my backstory, and hopefully it could help someone stay away from having the same issues of going down addiction problems when it comes to getting into a tattoo studio or doing conventions, because it's things that you're going to see everywhere, and I don't want anyone to go through the same problems that I have in my life. It was miserable. It wasn't worth it. And looking back, I know that I'll never want to touch another drink again, because it led me down a downward spiral that I never want to live in again. So I hope this is able to help anyone out, and if you're going through anything like this, stay strong. There is hope, and I promise that the other side of that tunnel is going to be way better for you. And thank you for sticking through and learning about my story as always. Thank you guys so much for watching, and have a wonderful day.